Hi there, I'm Ginny of the YouTube channel for Nickety Reader. So, Diverseathon is finally here. I've already finished one diverse book, but I want to talk about the one I finished on Saturday first. Or, to be honest, it's one I gave up on Saturday. Cold Comfort Farm by Stella Gibbons is a parody of a type of rural fiction that kept on coming up for review when she was running the book section of a magazine. And for many people, that's a reason to put it down. There's this belief that you can't enjoy a parody without knowing the original works. But as someone who grew up on The Simpsons, I can't buy into that. When I first watched The Simpsons as a child, I hardly got any of the literary or movie references. But it was still funny. I had a similar experience reading the first half of Cold Comfort Farm. The writing apes that overflowery, rambling prose that can infest books aimed at middle-aged women and all the character archetypes we've seen, which I found quite fun. But by the time I got to the middle, I noticed an oversight. Stella Gibbons turns a critical eye to the characters and the writing, but rarely if ever to the plot or the expectations. Maybe that's because of her original audience, who did like this plot arc, but it feels like she hasn't finished it. She hasn't gone the whole way, and the subverting of expectations is the part I really love in this kind of book. Then again, if you like the kind of book where everything works out in the end, you might well like this book. And I don't think that's a spoiler, any more than saying Harry beat Voldemort and Bella and Edward are going to get together. Simply put, expectations were honoured. On a more positive note, the first Diverseathon, you know I can never say that. It's that E that in the middle that trips me up. Back to the script. The first Diverseathon book I read was Trans Voices by Declan Henry. Declan isn't trans himself, but he's a gay man who realised he didn't actually know that much about this part of the LGBT community. He then did exactly what I would have wanted to do in the same situation. He went and interviewed a whole load of people, and then organised their conglomerate thoughts into topics and chapters. Books like this give us a point of view we don't always get. The person who needs to remain anonymous. The person who can't come forward and tell their story because their situation makes it too costly or downright dangerous. I wouldn't call this book comprehensive, but it's definitely a decent starting point. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Talk to you later.